This week on Stubborn Grit.
Another pass at ripping this plastic off. Here's our scaffolding that we've had in the barn for a few years.
His wife and he are building a house together. Sweat equity. It's like a marriage workshop. Build the dream. How hard can it be? How long will it take? They don't have a clue. They're doing it themselves. Ignorance is bliss. Will they survive? Will their teenagers thrive? What's wrong with you people? Are they crazy? Maybe. Dream big. Don't quit. Stubborn Grit.
A whole lot of life flies by as we search online and call around to buy materials, supplies, and tools. Graduations, birthdays, and all the everyday mundane tasks. My wife started walking a lot, and I try to join her when I can. We're trying to get in better shape for the framing phase of construction. One of our latest challenges has been figuring out where and how to store all the tools and materials. We can't just leave everything outside. When we first arrived on the property, there was no garage, so we purchased these his and her shipping containers, and they're working great. We did start fixing up the old pig barn for a barn dance, and then other various events for our kids and their friends. And we've also been storing our scaffolding here for a few years, but it's not as dry and secure as the containers. Hopefully we now have enough experience patching up our old 1955 ranch house, this old pig barn, and our DIY chicken coop that we can survive this new phase of construction, and we'll be able to share it with our family and friends. Now we're trying to clean up the containers and make room for storing as much as we can, and make sure we can find stuff when needed. We've been purchasing tools over the years and inherited some from my wife's dad, and we're still calling it the Daddy Depot. Old and new will be put to use. Another benefit to doing things yourself is having a good excuse to have a lot of tools, in addition to learning new skills and of course sweat equity. Slowly but surely everything is coming together. We now have a charging station set up inside the old ranch house. Some of our smaller purchases have been showing up as well.
There's our sheathing clips, square washers, 3 by 3 inches, 1/4 inch tip. Ordered some new wheels for our scaffolding. I've had some downtime today. I only had to work a few hours, so I'm back out trying to get back at this. I've been working double time, literally 2 shifts, at least minimum 10 hours a day to 16 plus sometimes. Insanity. I just started another pass at ripping this plastic off. And you can see the grass has grown back over where we did the rough grading. There's the water access right there. Before it goes into the building, I need to retape the plumbing caps, or the ones that don't actually have caps on them, just have duct tape. The tape is wearing out in the ultraviolet light in the sun.
And plenty of rain. I often wander out here to watch all the water run off to make sure it's moving elsewhere. Water is the enemy that quietly destroys homes over time. Anyway, today is Toasty, and we'll be pulling the trigger soon on some of our larger construction material orders. A whole lot of plywood, lumber, LVLs, 48-foot I-joists, and more. Just checking and double checking every item on the list.
And here's our scaffolding that we've had in the barn for a few years.
My son and I are assembling the scaffold with our new wheels. I'm thinking that being able to roll around the slab will save a lot of time. Second section with our precious wheels. Today we're inspecting our concrete form boards with the hopes of repurposing them. Some are in great condition, others not so much.
Using the scaffolding as our drying racks, we stored some of our wood over there on the rock, but apparently they were getting wet and somehow dirt's getting all over it. So I don't know if it fell over or what, but it's covered and has some rot. Yeah, some fungus growing. Carpenter ants making a home in here. Work their way in there.
Now we're building some DIY pallets to keep all the plywood off the ground. Cutting these pressure-treated 4x4x8 posts in half to act as stringers, while also piling up mounds of rock below with plastic on top. Higher off the ground is better for storing materials outside, and we have plenty of rock that we can move around, so we're thinking this will help. We're planning to lay this plastic underneath our plywood to keep the ground moisture out. Besides the rain and rising moisture from below, we're also concerned about termites and carpenter ants. The cheaper plywood on the bottom should hold it all together and hopefully work as a sacrificial layer for anything trying to chew its way through. The 4x4 posts are pressure treated, but the plywood is not. I'll likely spray insecticide around it as well. Plywood can be very expensive, and we're doing our best to protect it. We're also considering wind direction, sun, and shade. For example, orienting the plywood stacks so that the wind can easily blow in and through, similar to stacking firewood. Also trying to keep our materials close enough to the build site, but not in the way. Once again, we're making progress, we're getting things done. Our plywood order for the roof and the walls should be arriving next week.